19.2, and I have we have a special guest who's down. She's visiting us all the way from Ohio. This is Miss Dani Sidell. So Dani is...
You're not going to introduce me? I'm Ronnie Bell.
That's Ron, if you guys don't know that.
Old news.
You are old news, Ron. Ron will actually be good on 19.2 today.
Thanks, Charlie.
You did good.
It's nice to meet you.
So Dani is a regional level athlete. She's a games athlete, and she currently is third in the world. Very impressive.
Maybe not currently, because some people have submitted 19.
As of 19.1, she was third in the world. But unfortunately, during training, you hurt yourself. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's been like a nagging injury I've had for a few months now. I went and saw a chiropractor before Wadapalooza, and she advised that I don't go and compete because one false little movement could make my L4 or L5 rupture.
Right.
And being stubborn and wanting to compete, it was already paid for. I said I might as well go out, and when I come back home, I'll dial it back, but didn't dial it back. Kept pushing it, kept doing some heavy deadlifts I probably shouldn't have done. And then a few days ago, just going to the gym, warming up, testing out movements, and not being able to front squat 165 without excruciating pain. I knew that's just not how I wanted to live my life in the gym. And then outside of the gym, it was still hurting to even sit down, stand up, and just walk my dog. So I figured I needed to do something, go see a doctor, and just get some work done on it before I'm sitting for months on end versus just sitting out a couple weeks.
So when it started messing up your regular day activities, that's when you knew?
Yeah, when I was out walking my dog and like having to stop because it would spasm up, I said that's just not fair for me to be trapped inside my body due to an injury that I'm too stubborn to take a break from.
Yeah.
So what did they have to do? They gave you a steroid shot?
Yeah, they gave me a steroid shot. I have 3 days. This is day 2, and they said if it's not pain-free after 3 days, then I need to follow up with my PCP and then go see a specialist to get injections at the actual site of injury.
Right. So I assume, since you have other things going on, that that will effectively end the open run.
Possibly. I mean, if it does feel better, I would love to attempt it on Monday. I feel like that's more me just being overly hopeful.
Right.
I think the smart thing for me to do as an athlete and my future goals is probably just to scratch the open, live off the high of my 19.1 and...
Well, that's not true. You've been there before anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've placed in the top 10 a handful of times when it comes to the open, and 19.1 was just directly in my wheelhouse. I mean, wall balls for me at a 9-foot target, I think...
Pretty close.
Yeah, it's really close.
It's a roll, yeah.
Yeah, so in rowing, I love the rower, I love the bike, and I love to run. So combine anything with those 3 movements, I'm...
You're going to do well, yeah.
Yes.
So you have other things going on, right? So you competed in Wadapalooza.
Yes.
And I assume you're going to be trying for some of the invitationals coming up.
Correct. The next one in line is going to be Granite Games.
Okay, and that's the last one, correct? That's in June.
Yes, that's the last one.
That's the last one. You going to try for any of the other ones coming up? Because don't we have, there's like 5 in April and 5 in May, I think.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them.
4 in April, 5 in May, I think, last time I checked. So it's a lot.
I mean, I would love to. I need to sit down and talk with, like, I have 2 teams that I've been going back and forth with, and the one that I'm taking to Granite Games. Ideally, it would be nice if we could all stay together, stick with this team, and try a few others out.
Right.
Versus just limiting ourselves to Granite Games. Because I think the squad I have going there, we complement each other very, very well.
Yeah, I don't know who's on the list for the Granite Games, but that one could be stacked because if you're a team, that's the last one, that's it.
That's,
so if you're that team that hasn't qualified or whatever, I mean, that's what
we talked that is kind of like the last hope for maybe somebody who's trying to go in the open for last or top 20.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people are going to try.
Well, you'll have individual athletes at that point that didn't make top 20 that are going to make super teams.
Yeah.
Just to get away to go to games. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are doing now. I mean, no offense, that's what I did. I created a super team.
It's within the rules. So while we're talking about the rules, we obviously know, and Ron and I have spoke a lot about it, and I'm sure you have in your circles. What do you think about the new rule changes? Do you think it's going to improve CrossFit as a sport in general? Forget the affiliate side of it, because that's a whole nother topic, but do you think it's going to improve the overall sport? I mean, it's got a lot of growth to go, there's a lot of growing pains going on.
Call it a
right now.
sport, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Call it a sport.
Let's call it a sport. I call it a sport for you.
Although it can't really be defined as a
Thank you.
sport.
Thank you, Dan.
It's all sports mixed into one.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the rule change before we talk about how it's operating?
So I haven't really voiced my official opinion
Yeah.
because I try to take a step back and I think, well, football, baseball, basketball, they all went through their growing pains and look how successful that is as a sport, and I just try to put CrossFit in that same boat, and it's going to change. I don't know if it's going to be for the better. I don't know if it's going to hinder the sport. I do know it's very discouraging, but then again, it's very new.
Right.
So change is hard, and a lot of people are resistant to change. But right now, I would say my overall first take is that it's just really discouraging.
Yeah.
Me being a regional level athlete, looking forward to the Open, doing the whole leaderboard every week, and really focusing on being top 5, top 10, top 20 for my region, and now that's taken away, kind of.
Plus, you can see the leaderboard if you look. There are a lot of athletes really not trying.
No.
Because they've already won a sanctioned
Yeah,
event. The Open
definitely.
has become a little bit different, I think. But to talk about growing pains, the truth is this sport's been around for 11, 12 years. So what, we haven't had growing pains for 11, 12 years? Now we're going to go through growing pains again. In my opinion, I think it's the piecemeal of things as it's coming out that discouraged people. I think if they left 2019 alone and had been talking about these changes for October, I do think it would have been more acceptable by
Which is
everyone.
what I thought they were going to do.
I thought they were gonna give it like a 2-year, like, they would've said this year, okay, in 2020, we're gonna start this way.
That's how
And
they
give it a
first
year.
announced it, was 2019 staying the same, 2020, that's when everything is going to change.
So I think that would have been better for people to swallow than to say, this is what we got, and then we piecemeal. I mean, listen, Fraser won Dubai before there was even a rule book,
Yeah,
right? So those things, I think, are what put people off about it. But in one way, you know, for your type of athlete, you now have, for this year, 15 attempts to qualify for what is considered to be regionals, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, it does give you more of an opportunity, I think, a little bit too.
Yeah, in a way, but I do know regionals, being more geared towards like a regional level athlete, I would really consider myself one, is that regionals was always special. I think that
Yeah.
brought in so much fun for spectators, because if one person makes it to regionals from SC Fit, your whole gym's going to
Yes,
support
yes,
that
yeah.
person, but the whole gym's not gonna go and support them at the
Miami
games. Yeah.
or
It's a
Minnesota.
little-
or whatever.
Exactly, so regionals was always really fun and special because it really brought together the community. When we went last year, the gym, it was like brought to life again.
Yep.
Where they had something that they looked forward to, they were prideful, it was just really exciting, and having everyone at that gym, and it was a very successful gym, like 300 plus members, them coming up to us, like doing fun donations, games, prizes, and just like shaking our hands saying how proud they were. It's like,
That's
wow.
kinda, we were talking about that a couple days ago, that we kind of lost that opportunity with Angelo, because Angelo was our one athlete that could have got to regionals, and then we all could, I mean, our gym knows how to party, so that would have been a good time.
Yeah.
And we had a party for it as well,
Yeah,
like going to
exactly.
regionals, then going to the games, and
Yep.
now that's kind of
So
taken
since
away.
you've been to one sanctional event this year, besides that part, is the atmosphere kind of the same as a regional atmosphere when you go to these competitions?
That's hard to say because I went to Wadapalooza, and Wadapalooza
It's an event in
it's,
itself.
it's an
Yeah,
event
it's
in
like,
itself.
that's like a party, yeah.
So that didn't change, even with the new rules, it was still Wadapalooza. Like, it didn't feel any different.
Right.
And I really appreciated that, because going to Wadapalooza, you don't, I mean, yes, you go there to compete, you go there to do your absolute best, but you also go there because
Yeah.
it's so damn fun.
Yeah.
There's no other place yet that you're doing muscle ups, and in the background you'll see jet skiers, you'll see signs, and then
Right.
there's a yacht.
So it's a totally different atmosphere.
Yeah,
when
you
see
can't
it,
really compare.
those two, yeah.
Well, what about the programming? So obviously now, CrossFit has nothing to do with any of these sanctioned events. So They don't have the judges, they don't have anybody. When you used to go to Waterpalooza and you used to compete, it was a separate event, right? It had nothing to do with CrossFit, so it was just a fun event, everybody went to it, had a big prize. Guido built that up into something spectacular, and you know, the prize money was becoming good, and you were having Froning and Noah and all these other top tier athletes go there, but it was different. Now it actually counts. Now it actually matters. So all these sanctioned events are technically mini regionals. However, CrossFit's not involved. So what does that mean? That means that the programming is on somebody else. That means that the judging is on somebody else. That means that how they broadcast it is on somebody else. So being from regionals and now going to an event that means as much as regionals, was there a difference in judging? Was there a difference in programming? You know, because that's something that if it's going to continue and it's going to grow, they're going to have to figure something out with that.
Yeah, and I did notice the judging was a little bit lackadaisical.
Or inconsistent.
Still?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though- wow.
I feel that they didn't go over the standards of,
Before workouts,
yeah, because a lot of different teams were hitting different standards, and one would count and one wouldn't count.
Yeah.
So I feel that the judging was just a little off, but
Right.
again, it's
Growing
it's
pains.
growing
Yep.
pains.
Yep.
And wait, what was the other question?
Well, meaning just, you know, just in general, how about the programming in general? Do you feel
Oh,
it was
yes.
like the same level of a regionals? I mean, regionals, we know when teams have to perform, it's actually a team that has to perform. Now, we know there was a backlash with some criticism coming out of Dubai that all those athletes actually did individual
It was just
events.
individual workouts, who
Right.
got the 4 fittest individuals to put
To make a
together a
team.
team.
So that really wasn't
Yeah.
the same as what regionals kind of is.
Okay, yeah, so we had a few events where we had to use the worm, and that's really the only chance we got to work as a
Okay.
team. And you could clearly tell that our team never touched a worm together.
Okay.
We were totally off sync, we dropped it on people. So it was a huge mess, but the teams that had the chance to work
They were
together,
good.
you could tell.
Yeah.
When it comes to team events, working together does make a huge difference, even if you're just doing workouts next to each other, because I'll know your facial expression when you need to be yanked out or when you're done. And we didn't have that.
You didn't have
opportunity.
that.
Well, we had the opportunity, we just didn't put forth the effort to all meet together and train together.
Yeah.
Well, plus, I think that'll grow, and I think the programming will get better in that aspect. I do, as they bring people on, and hopefully it's not games athletes programming for all these things, because in my opinion, that shouldn't be. I won't make you answer that, but in my opinion, that shouldn't be. Games athletes
Me
should
neither.
not be
I don't think
programming
that either.
for these events. They
It should
shouldn't.
be one person programs for every event, not the owner of each event. It should be the same.
The uniform
Yeah,
program.
they should have to follow
Even
some
if you-
sort of protocol.
But even if you want someone to program for you, that's fine. I do not think Austin Malialo and all these type of people who have friends that are competing should be programming for these things.
Or other coaches for
I-
other
Correct.
programs.
I just, no matter what, nothing's happening, and I'm not saying there is. It's the way it looks.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna grow the sport, that's what we're saying.
Needs to be more
Needs to
professional.
be-
Okay, and see, and I think even if, like, let's say Wapaluda called you up, because you're an affiliate owner,
Right.
you program, if you do program for them, Angelo, myself, we should not be able to go to the event. If you are programming for that competition, your athletes should not be able to
It's
go.
just the way it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
You
agree.
can't be
Even
trusted that
if-
you won't share the work.
Yeah, even if you would never share it, people are still gonna say,
Of course, it's
no
just a bad
way,
look. It's a
you
bad
wouldn't
look.
do
It's just a bad look, I think, on the sport in general itself, so. All right, so we kind of agree on those type of things. Well, we wish you the best of luck in, going to the Granite Kings and all that. What did you think about 19.2? Is this something that's in your wheelhouse? We've done it before, and that means if we've done it before, we've done it twice.
Yes.
Because there's no way trying for regionals of the games.
You only do
Today
it.
was my 4th time doing that, because we did it in 16, and it was a master qualifier in 17.
Today was my first time.
So we did it again today. Today was my worst score.
It's getting
So
old.
what, I am getting old. So what do you think about it? Do you like it? Is this something you're in your wheelhouse?
It's actually really funny because Thursday night, I never guess these workouts right, ever. I'm always so far off, it's ridiculous. But I said, I bet it's gonna be toes to bar and double unders.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Because I love toes to bar. I'm not the fastest at them just because I'm very long, but I can hang on to them in fairly large sets.
Yeah.
So I was really excited when they said toes to bar and double unders. I can go unbroken for 500 if I really wanted to. So, and the cleans, it's a weight that's not really heavy for me.
Come on, those first 2 weights are ridiculous.
And especially,
85
I mean,
pounds
just
for her?
stop. Just stop.
plus 175 and 205, like, I could easily power clean it if
And
that
then
was.
front squat it if you had
Yeah,
to.
if I had to, if my core was totally shot, that would have been an easy option for me. No doubt I could finish this workout, but
We'll see if
Yeah.
on Monday if she's ready for it.
yeah.
Charlie's like scratching, he wants her to, so.
I mean, she's much smarter than I am. I would.
We would do it
I'd
and
lose
then
my
be-
back on the floor.
Yeah, we would be not working out for months after, but we would try.
Well, I lost my back when I was front squatting just 165.
That's right.
So yeah, that's.
So I've already been, my back's already been lost. I'm sure discs are everywhere, but I mean,
So after seeing it, doing it, what's your advice for it? Mine is grip. This is a grip workout, and you better break up the toes to bar and even think about singles. It's all grip to me.
well, when he was getting ready to go, I said, pick a number of toes to bar that no matter what you're feeling, you can always hit. Like if you just came back running from an all-out 400 and you had to jump right up on the bar, what number could you hit and still feel comfortable? He said 10. I said, 10's your number then.
Yeah.
For me, I know that no matter how tired I am, I can always hit 10 to 12. So I would always stay in that range, even right from the get-go, because slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I would rather take 5 seconds of a break versus 10 to 15 seconds because I have absolutely no core. My feet are not getting near the bar, so pick a number that works best for you and don't be nervous to not do your first set of 25 unbroken.
Yeah.
If you do it unbroken, then you're wrong.
Yeah.
If you do it unbroken, that's just because you're trying to get out of 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yeah,
my
if you're
thought.
trying to do it unbroken, it's probably because you got no shot to finish the workout and you're just trying to get as many reps.
So there is a little strategy in this. You need to know what type of athlete I think you are.
Yes.
If your goal really is to get out of the 185, you do need to find a place where you can pick up a little bit of tempo, a little bit of speed. So you do need to do a bigger set in that first set and then move smooth.
Yeah.
But I actually forgot, and now I remember. But this was all grip for me. My forearms were just lit up. This was just disgusting. It was a disaster. So
I had
for me,
fun. I had fun.
You had fun, yeah.
I got,
He did
I,
really
got,
well.
I got lucky because those are my two favorite movements, and then I just got to the bar that my strength isn't there yet. So I got to exactly where I knew I was going to get, and I had one rep at 275, which
Yeah.
was kind of the
But
goal.
you got under it 3 or 4 times.
4 times I couldn't stand it up because I'm weak, but we'll get there.
But otherwise, no, I think it was good. Any predictions for 19.3 in our last few minutes here?
We'll get there in 20
Um,
seconds.
chest to bar, probably. I don't know. Like I said, I'm so bad. Chest to bar and box jumps.
Strict pull-ups. I'm saying it every week until
Box
it
jumps
happens.
and burpees. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sidell. We'll see you guys
See you
next
later.
week.